nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
Fine.
It's clean, it's affordable, it's close to work.
Work? I thought you had another week off.
Only if I wanted it.
Have you heard from Jake?
No, I haven't spoken to him lately. It's never going to work, even if... I just don't see how it can.
And what does Jake say?
He knows, I think. He's always known.
But you haven't told him.
You okay, Weir? Bad plan, Cuddy, sir.
Corporal Weir, I hope you're not going all soft on us.
South off, Stubbs. Got to
Back to the RV.
see.
Here's to the dinner we never had. How are the kids?
Well, fine, yeah. They're staying with their dad till I get the flat ready.
Oh, well, if there's anything I can do.
No.
Okay. How's the head?
Oh, it's fine, yeah. Fine.
What's the news on Brian Wicklow?
The cancer's taken hold. He's in and out of hospital. Oh, I better get that. Sorry. Boss. So the dead man was?
Corporal Mark Weir.
Who found him?
His section.
You mean who found what was left of him? Here we go. D.I. Norton, D.C. Roy Chowdhury, D.S. Granger.
Colonel Harrington Smith, this way.
Any idea what happened yet?
Some kind of explosion. Beyond that, who knows?
And he wasn't carrying anything himself that could...
No. Well, if he was, he shouldn't have been. Atwell and Stubbs, men from Mark's section. They found him.
Here we go. Name, rank, serial number. Must have been some prawn curry.
awful.
You don't have to say anything. You don't. Just take care.
How would you describe Corporal Mark Weir?
Quiet, well-liked, a good soldier.
And he was on his own?
Indicated he was unwell and dropped back.
And wandered into a minefield.
We don't have any minefields. As I said, we don't know what caused the explosion, but as soon as possible, our ballistics boys will take some swabs from the residues. That is, of course, if you'd like.
I think we'll manage.
Excuse me.
I think the Colonel likes us.
I'm going to stay here. You go and check through the deceased's personal things.
Any idea what we're looking for, boss?
I haven't a clue. Probably won't even need us once the dust settles.
Sorry, I didn't realise.
Who are you?
Lieutenant Stubbs.
Do you know if anyone's been in here since?
No, sir. I mean, Mom.
That's all.
What?
Nothing.
Alice.
Yeah, there's a couple of letters as well. Dear John, this one.
Anything?
A couple of letters look quite interesting. Pathologist?
Pathologist, forensic archaeologist, anthropologist, health and safety bods, and some nutter with a beard who specialises in seeds and pollen. God knows how long that's all going to take. There's no point waiting.
Bent over, holding his stomach.
Said it was a curry, sir.
And you're not convinced?
This was the start of a long, grueling exercise designed to separate the wheat from the chaff.
And you didn't see him after that?
No, Mom.
We found out. Me, Howard, Paul.
And then when I shone my torch, it was...
It's okay.
So, Lieutenant Stubbs, who's Alice?
His ex, Mom. You knew they'd split up? Yes, sir. Was he upset? At the time, sir. Yes, sir.
And recently?
No, no.
Nothing troubling him at all?
And what about, enemies?
What do you think, Lieutenant Atwell?
No, Mum. Not Weir.
And would you say he was happy? He liked the army? What's not to like, sir? It was his home. And we were his family.
Who's Alice?
His ex. And you don't think it was a mine?
A mine is mass-produced.
So, anything that works like a mine but is not mass-produced, it's got to be a homemade bomb.
With respect, part of the job, yes, obviously includes training weaponry and to kill. Something throughout history we've been rather good at. That has increasingly become a thankless task.
Likewise.
Soldier or not, anyone with an internet access these days can run up a half-decent bomb.
Also present left forearm, wrist. Missing index finger and thumb. Jeff, have you got any bits of jaw?
I think so.
Eve was asking for you. She sends her love. Her, head is much better, and they've arrested the man who... He'd become a bit obsessed. Thought me and Eve were... To be honest, at one point, so did I. Who was that kid named, huh? Things were always complicated, to say the least. Come on. Let's get you inside.
You always hurt the one you love, the one you shouldn't hurt at all. You always take the sweetest growth and crush it till the petals fall.
Jeff, could you take a look at this, please?
What is it?
This is a lower right-hand section of a jaw, and so is this.
I don't understand.
Well, they're both bits of the same part. One belongs to Mark Weir, and one to someone else. Some shots of this.
A woman.
The Dear John letter we found from Alice in Mark Weir's room. Any clues where we can find her?
Mrs. Weir, I'm D.S. Granger. This is D.C. Roy Chowdhury. Thank you. I know this must be a very difficult time for you.
I would say weeks, possibly months, but not years, no.
Okay.
Most of her face is gone, probably because it was nearest the seat of the explosion, but obviously I'll be able to tell you more later. Right, if you'll excuse me.
Alice? No.
Your son never mentioned his girlfriend.
If he did know someone called Alice, I don't think it would be his girlfriend.
Mrs. Weir, was Mark gay?
You see, he never really had a father until I met Ray, but by then...
Would you mind if we had a look at his room?
He doesn't have a room.
When was he here last?
Christmas. Year before last.
Had you spoken to him recently?
Not recently, no.
Is there anyone round here he kept in touch with?
No.
Right, well, thank you very much.
I don't suppose you have any idea whether there'll be any compensation?
Sorry, I don't know. Thank you, Mrs. Weir. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Not often, but whenever I could, I did speak to him. And he did have a friend, Jed. Jed Cooper.
Hey, Bon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We need to find a Jed Cooper.
I think that bike's been following us.
Do you think?
What's more relevant? The fact that Mark Weir's gay, or the fact that he doesn't want anybody to know about it?
You're a friend of Mark Weir's, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm afraid we've got some bad news. He's been killed. It was an explosion, I'm sorry. We're trying to trace another of Mark's friends, someone called Alice.
I'm Alice. It's just something stupid that we had between us. My last name's Cooper, so he used to call me, yeah. Didn't want anyone knowing he was gay, I suppose.
We're also,
Another body's been found.
a woman.
Not Mandy.
Mandy.
Yeah, she's been missing. She's my sister.
5'4", slim build, natural.
Blonde hair.
Age, approximately late teens, early 20s.
22.
Did she have any birthmarks or distinguishing features?
Thank you. She's got a tattoo. It's like a round Japanese crest type thing.
It's been cut out.
Great. How did she die?
Well, we're not sure.
She was shot.
We don't know that yet.
She was shot, but not at the recovery site.
Look, the explosion has caused a massive amount of damage and there are numerous post-mortem injuries. However, there are also injuries to a region across the top of the hips, to the buttocks, the groin, the upper thighs and the lower stomach. And these are consistent with bullet wounds.
Consistent?
Yeah, but I can't say that's what killed her. Look, my job is to give answers based purely on evidence. All I can say for certain is that something passed clean through her body a number of times at or around the point of death.
There was a bullet in her thigh.
Yes, but I wouldn't be able to explain how it got there. You wouldn't expect it to be flat. Look, a bullet can enter a body and ricochet off a bone and exit nowhere near the entry point. But in this case, there's no indication of the path it took or why it became so flattened.
At least we agree the brain is missing.
Missing?
Yeah.
But wasn't that caused by the explosion?
Something consistent with a spade or axe being used to crack open the skull.
However you get your jollies.
Had she been sexually assaulted?
There's no evidence of damage, but there are traces, as yet unconfirmed, of semen in her vagina.
Did you know Mark Weir was gay?
Yes, but I understand it was something he found easier not to reveal.
So it's still a problem then?
No more, I suspect, than a woman reaching the higher ranks of the police service.
Corporal Weir, gay. Never. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. I can't. Go. If anyone's a sissy around here, it's you, Paul. Sir, I think somebody's dead, sir! sir, somebody's dead! Oh, no.
As for his girlfriend, Alice. Alice? Who the fuck was Alice?
All I did was ask Mark if he knew anything.
And did he?
He said he'd look around.
When did you last speak to him?
A week? 10 days ago, maybe?
And?
Did he mention any names?
She slept with half the guys that were... You know, she used to call me the camp follower.
I think the dead girl's Mandy.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Funny thing. Mark was asking me about her. Wanted to know whether you shagged her or not.
Well, I hope you told him the truth in all its technicolor glory.
I said no.
No.
Well, that's what she told me. And she turned you down.
That little whore? Turn me down? I don't think so. You believed her? And for one thing, she said the same thing about you.
Wow.
Don't worry about it.
She also said you'd been following her. You. And what about Weir?
What about it? Dirty little quitter. He's no great loss. We're okay, though, aren't we? Because we've been through this before. You remember, don't you? Yes, he remembers.
If it was cannibalistic or ritualistic, I think other parts would be missing.
Taking bits, mementos, I can understand, but did you tell Jed the whole of his sister's brain was missing? There's nothing to suggest that Mark Weir didn't kill Mandy and then either suicide or we all know the peculiar thrill some people get from the scene of their crime.
But if Mark Weir did booby-trap the body, then surely when he went back he'd have been more careful.
Maybe he was laying the device.
But why now, all of a sudden? Well, she'd been there for some time.
Making sure that if she was ever found, every bit of evidence had been destroyed, which has been the case.
I think somebody knew he was going there and wanted to stop him.
Or more than someone. Well, isn't that what the army's about nowadays? Small, tight, highly trained units that stick together.
I get the feeling that it was one person. And if I had to pick one, I'd pick Stubbs.
Why?
Because for a start, I'm sure it was him on that motorbike.
What motorbike?
I couldn't really see.
Is that it?
No, well, it's his look. It's the way he is. I think we've all learned from Brian Wickler and from others.
Others? So Jake Osborne thinks it's just one person, does he?
I don't know, boss. I haven't spoken to him.
Hey, Jay. Keep working on Mandy's last movements.
Boss?
Stubbs. Yeah, OK. Follow it up. And see what Jake Osborne thinks.
Are you sure? We have a woman who's been shot. Jake. The same with his wife. Don't you think that's a little...
No. That's exactly why it could be useful to us.
Boss.
Instant room.
going to lose your money. That's it.
Okay, Stubbs and Atwell, get ready. Howard and Paul. Stand by. Box.
But it wasn't my idea. If you don't want... I understand.
Well, I do have some things to do for my neighbours, but... there's no hurry. So long as you're okay.
No fury and all that kind of stuff. Let's kiss and make up.
Someone had had sex with her, possibly Mark Weir, though her brother doesn't think that was likely. We're waiting on the DNA results. But we do know that the seat of the explosion was actually inside her mouth. I think the site was chosen carefully, either as a fuck you to every soldier that passes, or it's got some other, more personal reason.
But she wasn't killed here.
No. The pathologist thinks she was shot lying down.
Any sign of a struggle?
If there was more than one, I suppose they could have held her down, but it strikes me as deeply personal, shooting her in the groin and...
Although humiliating a victim by shooting them there is sometimes an element of gangland killings.
It wasn't a gangland killing.
So, she's either dead or incapacitated. The killer stands over her going...
Or...
People tend to use what they know, what comes to hand. A mechanic might use a tire iron, a wrench. I still have my father's gun. When I went upstairs, when I opened the door, my wife, she threw herself in front of, across her lover. Hit her first. But at that range, he didn't stand much of a chance, so...
So she's lying down, and he shot her there in that position because because there was someone else on top of her.
Both of them somewhat distracted.
More like cold and uncomfortable.
Either way, the killer, killers. Oh, you can guess where they aim.
Well, that would explain why the bullet was only just under her skin, if it had passed through someone else first. So we're looking for a third body.
Is there anyone else missing?
Not that we know of. We searched the immediate area. I mean, where would you...
Well, she's shot in the groin, put there, with a bomb in her mouth. I'd say that was pretty personal to her. Unless, of course, the same's true for the other person.
In other words, the body could be anywhere. Shit.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? To reach inside my head and pull out my darkest thoughts? Already sometimes when she looks at me. I mean, if I'm wrong, she's going to wonder, how can he think like that? And if I'm right, it's how can he know that?
What?
I can't hear you, Mum. Yeah, best avoid that, eh?
As they were having sex?
Yeah.
What's the boss think?
She says she'd rather we were looking for suspects than bodies that might not exist.
She's got a point.
Oh, thanks.
All I'm saying is be careful. Part of me thinks she'd rather enjoy seeing you fail.
Don't forget to wait. Oh. It's better. I'm gonna tell you again. Heart.
Nature of the injuries suggested. Nelson Jeffries. The body was in a mortuary in Rochdale. It was thought to be a gun killing.
It's always hard to tell how long they've been in the water. When was he fished out?
A month ago.
All right, possibly shot in the lower back or buttocks. Should be able to identify the pattern and trajectory against those of Mandy.
The bullet that was found in Mandy's leg, if it passed through this body, it'd have his DNA on it.
Yeah, it's worth trying it.
Good call.
So, what do we know about this Stubbs, then?
Best friends with Paul Atwell. Interestingly, before they signed up, one of them lost control of Daddy's car. Hit and killed a pensioner on a zebra crossing. They ran off, but there was enough evidence to prove they'd been in the car, though it couldn't be shown they were driving it at the time, or indeed which one of them was behind the wheel. They blamed joyriders. Now, I'm convinced it's Stubbs, but I think we should bring them both in. They've covered up for each other once before. But this is different. I think if we can crack Atwell...
No.
Go on then. Go on then. You're going to do it. Go on.
Didn't think so.
If anything happens to me, it's all written down.
Yeah, that's funny. I was just about to say exactly the same thing to you.
The thing that bothers me, if Mark Weir wasn't involved, then how did he know exactly where to dig?
I have an idea about that. One of the things Mark Weir had on him was a global positioning system.
How accurate?
Nowadays, to within feet.
Excuse me, Colonel. Hey. Here, look. Nothing on Paul Atwell's, but here's ours, and that's Stubbs's. The exact same coordinates. Got him.
Doesn't need a memento. Every time he turns that on, there it is. Oh, and by the way, he's also got a motorbike.
Hello?
May I?
Yeah?
Sure.
All right. All right. Eve? You better go and rescue your mate, Jake Osborne. He's got himself in a bit of bother.
But I...
Now, if you don't mind.
I'm not surprised. I don't think it's in anyone's best interest to press charges, do you?
No.
The DI asked if you could spare 5 minutes.
See.
Oh, wait.
There are gut instincts and gut instincts. Either way, I'm not convinced that Eves are strong enough.
Well, for what it's worth, whatever your female victim did or didn't do, someone took it very personally, and that's something you tend to deal with alone.
And when Mark Weir started asking questions...
Isn't that slightly different, though? Shooting someone in jealousy or anger to deliberately luring them to their death.
Some people do nothing in their lives, and then they kill someone, and it's the greatest thing they've ever done. With an adrenaline rush like they've never known before, a rush that's never as great the second time. But that doesn't stop them seeking it. I think Eve's right. Only one does the killing.
And you're convinced Atwell's only the bridesmaid?
Yes, boss.
Ready?
Yeah.
For what it's worth, if it had been my mother, I'd have ripped their bloody arms off.
I mean, we came back over the original files, but some of the notes...
Atwell.
Was Mandy Cooper ever your girlfriend?
No, sir.
But you knew her.
Yes, sir.
Did you have sex with her?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else you know of also have sex with her?
Most of us, sir.
Any exceptions?
Howard Stubbs.
How do you know?
She told me, sir.
What else did Mandy tell you about Stubbs?
Nothing, Mum.
Did Mark Weir have sex with her?
I always understood he was a first.
Even though he was gay?
I didn't know about that, sir.
Howard Stubbs. You two grew up together, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Are you still good friends?
Yes, sir.
When you were 15, the police questioned you about an accident in which a pensioner was killed.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with us, sir. That was joyriders.
Do you know how Mandy and her boyfriend were killed?
No, Mum.
It was shot while they were having sex. His body was dumped in a river. Hers was buried where Mark Weir found it. It appears to have been booby-trapped. The explosive could have been placed anywhere, but it was put inside her mouth. What do you think that means?
I've no idea, Mum.
I think the word blow comes into it somewhere, don't you?
I don't know, Mum.
What sort of a person would do that? An accident is one thing, but 3 people have been killed in cold blood. Worse than that, bits of Mandy's body were cut off and taken for God knows what. If you're not part of that... Mark Weir, look what happened to him. You know the saying, 2 can keep a secret if one of them's dead? Paul.
I don't know anything. I'm sorry, Mum.
Any more questions?
No. Did you have sex with Mandy Cooper?
Yes, Mum.
How many times?
Once.
Where? At her place or?
Outside.
Outside where?
In a pub car park, Mum.
Just the once?
Yes.
You didn't try to have sex with her again?
No.
Why not?
I believe it's what's called a one-night stand, Mum.
Did anyone else you know of sleep with her?
Yes, sir. Everybody. Apart from Paul Atwell.
This the Paul Atwell you grew up with?
Yes, Mum.
The one you were suspected of a hit and run with?
Yes, Mum. Unfortunately, the police got it very wrong. Joyriders had taken my father's car.
Are you sure you had sex with Mandy?
Yes, Mum. I think I would remember.
Why? There was something special about it, or you don't have sex that often?
Neither, Mum. Meaning no disrespect, Mum. But once was enough.
For her or for you? Somebody must have followed Mandy, crept up on her while she was having sex with her boyfriend and shot them both. Maybe whoever did that found it hard to cope with the fact that not only was she having sex, but good sex. Maybe she was loud, noisy, eager, busy. Far busier with her present boyfriend than she'd ever been with him. Maybe all that was something the killer couldn't cope with. Maybe that's why he chose to shoot them both in the groin. The boyfriend was of no interest, thrown away. But Mandy, not only was her skull cracked open, but the killer cut off her tattoo. Perhaps as a little reminder of how exciting it had all been. And just when it looks like no one has noticed, along comes Mark Weir asking too many questions. Why not get rid of him too? And at the same time, utterly demean the body of the woman who'd caused the humiliation in the first place in one big bang. What a delicious idea that must have been.
Sir, I really don't know how to respond.
What did you do? Feed him the coordinates? Joke once too often about how you killed her and buried her in the woods?
Where Weir died, where Mandy was found. Had you been anywhere near that site before?
No, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Then can you explain how come the exact coordinates were found on your global positioning system stored as a memory point?
On my GPS. The only things on my GPS were an exercise.
Exercise?
Yes, Mom. We had to recover a series of food caches. Operation Fox, I believe.
Was it exactly the same spot that Mark Weir's body was found?
I don't know if it was exactly. You'd have to check the coordinates.
Yeah.
So every single entry is relevant to that exercise?
Afraid so.
How many people would have had this information?
Half the regiment.
Including Mark Weir?
How are you, Paul?
At least the DNA proves Nelson Jeffries was shot while he was with Mandy Cooper.
I know Stubbs killed them.
I'm not dismissing that. I just think we should consider all possibilities. Maybe you came back to work a little too soon, Eve.
What?
Maybe you need another week, 10 days.
No, but
I've made my decision.
You'll be okay.
I'll be fine.
Eve, I'm sorry.
I'm off the case.
I know.
I know he did it. Not you as well.
All I'm saying is, it's not always bad people who do
Oh,
bad
come
things.
on.
Sometimes.
Come on, you know he did it. He either wants to fuck me, kill me, or both. You think I don't know that look? No, I didn't mean... I'm sorry. I don't know. I've been so sure, and I thought if only I could prove it, then. But once I'd got it into my head, maybe I don't know. Maybe I started to see things that weren't there.
No, you're right. I don't mean I don't know about Stubbs. I mean about me. Yeah.
Excuse me. Don't be stupid.
Give me your bag.
I'm supposed to thank you, am I?
I know some people who would.
Have you been following me?
You needed following.
Mandy need following.
Yes. She certainly did.
How bad is it?
It's a scratch.
Just keep your arm on your stomach. Tell me about the crash. You run away, the police come after you, but they can't prove it. They know it's you, but as long as you stick to your story, they can't prove it.
We were young, stupid, and best friends, and that's what best friends do. They don't snitch on each other.
I bet it was Paul who was driving. That's the hold you have over him. And it was you. You who got the thrill.
She's being horrible to me, nurse.
You wouldn't be horrible to me, would you? Hi.
2 or 3 times a day, but you must take enough food. But don't go yet because all right. Just
Lucky me. Perhaps you'd like to give me your number as well. I tell you what, if you let me... And I'll tell you everything, just like I told poor old Mark. Not that he believed me. Well, not at first, anyway.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just thought, you know, I didn't want things to end, you know, the way.
Sorry, I don't have any milk. Oh. Don't have any coffee either. Sorry. I was right. He did do it. Stubbs. He followed me here. There was a mugging, and we've been in A&E, and he all but admitted it.
Where? Where is he now?
Don't know.
Well, have you called your DI?
What's the point? All I can prove is that he followed me.
What about AJ?
Oh, tell me.
I'll call AJ.
No. No, Jake, I don't know. No, I don't want
Eve,
to.
if Stubbs has followed you...
I know you know something. The skin, the tattoo. I understand as a memento, but the brain, unless he ate it, I know you know something.
I can't do this anymore. I'm not safe.
Safe?
I can't get near you. I'm scared to touch you. I tell myself it's for your benefit, but it's not. I mean, look. Look where you are. Without your kids in an empty flat with someone who's murdered his wife, tortured a lover. And now there's somebody out there following you who might want to do you harm. That's not a life. That's not a life. I'm calling AJ. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm being, okay. Thanks, AJ. Eve! Eve! Shit!
Are you following me?
No. Came to take you up on your kind offer. See if you really can. Or are you all talk?
Why don't you let me buy you a drink?
Tell me, did you jack off while you watched them having sex or after you killed them?
Gentlemen! This lady says we're a bunch of arseholes. And she hopes we all get posted to... Where was it? Oh, yes. Iraq.
Leave a message after the beep.
Jake, it's me if you're there. Pick up. Please. Please, it's about Stubbs. I know you know something. I don't care how dark or how...
Eve.
Oh, shit.
Eve?
Iraq.
Quick.
All right, listen. Listen. By a quirk of nature, you'll guess who told me this.
Never mind the apology you owe me. I think these men deserve better than a cheap remark like that.
Iraq.
Howard Stubbs. I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. You don't have to say anything.
Whoa, whoa, love, you're not doing anything.
Excuse me?
No. He's under my command, not yours.
Then ask him to show me his belt.
His belt.
I meant his wallet.
Wallet.
Oh, I see. You prefer your money up front, do you? Okay. How much, say, for a hand job? Times 9.
Whoever killed Mandy took a section of her skin and her brain. The reason? There's a way to tan leather to make beautifully soft leather by dipping the skin in the hot brain of the animal that provided it. Your wallet.
Show her.
I don't think so. Show her.
Show her. Oh my God.
Yes! 2! Right, once more. One more. Let's have another one. Another round, please, mate. Now then. So you stand in there, what are you doing? You stand in there? What? Right, you sing! Johnson, you are singing. What do you have? Come on, let's have a song. Have a song. Well, he's a jolly good fella. Well, he's a jolly good fella. Well, he's a jolly good fella. And so say all of us.
Nobody turns me down.
I just have. Excuse me. I'm at the barracks. Yeah, I need a van. We've got him.